No, these things I don't pack. Allan, Karl, WorldRider here, coming to you on my very last day of my summer adventure around Southeastern Europe here. I'm in Greece. It's my last night. I'm not usually in a place like this. Usually it's a little more rural, not looking so resort-like. But, you know, at the end of a trip, it's been hot. You know, this summer's been incredibly hot. At the end of these long trips, I always like to have one night where I do a little splurge, I do a little relaxing, and just kind of get into and out of the groove and get ready for this, you know, this post-mortem, I guess you might call it, of going back home. So one of the things I've received a number of emails, people asking, and this is for years they've been asking, I always kept threatening and saying, oh, I'm gonna do it. So finally I decided today, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show you exactly kind of how my system for packing and unpacking the motorcycle, at least for the essentials that I might bring in and out of a guest house, a hostel, or a you know, hotel, or this kind of environment. The same system works if I'm camping as well. So I gotta tell you though, when you're packing for a trip, I'm traveling for 2 to 4 months at a time. So you gotta think of things like, okay, what are you gonna really need? And you're on a motorcycle, what do you maybe could find? If you do think you might need something else, you just might be able to find it on the road. So you got to be really efficient in the packing, and also because I am a creative producer and a writer and an author, I'm capturing things using audio, video, photography. That I do carry a lot of technology, so I need to make sure this is all organized and sorted. And when it comes to things like clothing, you know, I want to be able to travel for at least a week and not have to worry about laundry. But not overpack, and not, you know, like I always pack the lightweight gear, the microfiber kind of clothing, so that when I do wash it, sometimes I'll wash it in the shower, I'll wash it in the bathroom sink, it'll dry fast. So same thing when it comes to things like footwear, gotta be efficient. I only carry 2 things of footwear. So anyway, let's just get into the video. Let me show you my usual routine coming into a hotel, what's in my bag, and exactly what I'm bringing with me. I think this might help you if you're thinking of going on long-term travel. Thanks again for tuning in.
Hey, this is the every night WorldRider routine, carrying in 2 Ortlieb duffels, one on my back, one in my hand, and that's my laptop case. Still on the bike, I'll talk about later, is my camera equipment, video and still. This system works.
Okay. This is how WorldRider packs. It's a little different in Central and Eastern Europe. We're spending more time in guest houses. Sure, we do some camping. Most of the camping gear stays on the bike, but when I have to go into a hotel room, a guest house, or a hostel, I want to make sure I have everything I need, and also have anything that is technology or something that I'd be worried about that if I lost would be detrimental to me capturing and sharing this whole trip with you guys. So here's how it goes. I've got 3 bags I pull off my bike. Pretty simple. Now, of course, I'm carrying my helmet, I got my jacket, and I'm wearing my motorcycle boots. I check into my guest house, I'm carrying 3 bags. The first one, which is usually inside my Jessie pannier, it is the laptop. Basically, I carry a MacBook Pro, and inside here I also carry a mouse pad, obviously the cables to keep it charged, and the power supply, and then some extra cables and things like that. Pretty simple. Also 1 extra SSD hard drive in here. That's the laptop bag. The second bag, which is all these are, by the way, are Ortlieb waterproof duffels. These zippers are fantastic because they come together and are sealed in a special way that only Ortlieb I know that does this, you know, this kind of way. It's awesome. So when you open up the bag, it's a simple pull. Now, what do I have in here? The most important things that you would want. So what do you pack for a WorldRider? Of course, sparkling wine, a good red, another bottle of wine. Okay, not really. I just had to repack these things to set up for this little video. So we're going to start that over. People give me wine. I have extra space in these. I can put it in. But no, these things I don't pack. The second bag, and very important, of course, is my Ortlieb clothing duffel. I call this my clothing duffel. Notice that this has straps that you can wear. You saw me walk in the room with this as a backpack, so it becomes a little easier to manage a couple bags. But it also can be just carried as a normal duffel like that. And what's really great about these, both of these bags, the one behind me, I'm going to show you my technology duffel, my clothing duffel, is waterproof. And it sits on top, strapped down by rock straps on my Jessie bag panniers. Okay, so this zipper right here is totally waterproof. In the old days when you had to have these roll tops to keep water getting in, it just was always a pain in the neck. This is so easy. Opens like that. You'll notice here also there are these hooks that Ortlieb includes, so you get a little compression. So if you do want to stuff it bigger, you can remove that compression. You know, traveling around the world, lighter is always better. So let me tell you what I've got in here. It's pretty simple. The first thing here is a little shoe bag. I carry these very lightweight, you know, I'd almost call them tennis shoe hikers. They're from Salomon. They're awesome. You don't need to tie them. You just pull them tight. And when you're in a city or you want to go on a hike or something, you got to get out of those motorcycle boots. And that's my normal, you know, city walking around. Now I carry two pairs of footwear. I carry these Salomon, I call them kind of tennis shoe or cross trainer hikers. And I carry some very comfortable Mephisto sandals. And you'll see that in a minute. So you've got your hikers. This right here, everything I pack, I use these Eagle Creek packet cubes. This one, all of them are two-sided. So you pack your clean stuff on the top here. So for example, this happens to be my underwear and socks. I carry about 5 pairs of underwear and about 6 pairs of socks, different cushion levels. And on the back here, you can see there's another compartment. And this is dirty laundry, and I won't show you that. But this is when you're done with something, you need to keep it separate from your clean laundry. These Eagle Creek packet duffels are fantastic. Links to all these products, of course, are in the description below. The second thing is my toiletries. This is also an Eagle Creek toiletry bag. It has, you know, obviously body care, some health care stuff, medicine, toothbrush, all your toiletries that you need. The next thing I carry is another Eagle Creek packet cube. This particular one, the light colored one, are shirts. I carry 4 button-down short sleeve shirts, 1 button-down long sleeve shirt that can be rolled up, and 2 t-shirts. So that's it. So basically I'm carrying 7 shirts. And they all zip nicely and fold in there perfectly. The next bag, another Eagle Creek, 2-sided battle. These are the medium size. So what I carry inside here are 3 pairs of long pants, 1 pair of short pants, 1 swimming trunks, and I also carry Patagonia Capilene, the base layer that you use if you're a skier or if you're active in sports. Sometimes that's all I'll wear under my suit, my riding suit, or other times it may form as a base layer if it's a little bit colder for the colder temperature riding. So that's all I carry right there. So 3 pairs of long pants, 1 pair of shorts, 1 swimming suit, and a long sleeve Capilene from Patagonia shirt and pants. And what else is in here? A little bag. This I have is removable. It's also an Eagle Creek sack. And this just is carrying my sunscreen and a few other skincare products if I need access to those separately without having to dig through my toiletry bag. And of course, when you are on the road and you're moving and you don't have a chance to be as active other than hiking and walking around these cities, you might need to have a little bit of ability to do a little bit of training. So you can't bring a gym with you, but I bring these awesome tension bands. So I can sit here and I can do some curls. Nice. It also has a little block I can put into the door of my hotel, and I can do some lat pulls and all kinds of different things. I also have a simple tension. You know, the heat gets to these things and they start sticking. But if I just want to do some stretches, I do have a little ability to keep in shape while on the road. That's my clothing duffel. That comes into my room every night. It's very simple, very compact. Okay, let's get down to the third bag. We had the laptop, MacBook Pro, we've got the clothing duffel, and now I call the technology duffel. As a producer and a creative making YouTube videos, Instagrams, photography, writer, all the stuff, the TV show, I carry a lot of technology so I can capture this and share it in many ways. So let me show you exactly what I've got. First off, perhaps the most important thing that I carry and put in each of these duffels and more. This is the Apple AirTag. It goes into every one of my bags, on my motorcycle, in my tank bag, in my everything. This is the most important device I carry. If I end up possibly losing something or something gets stolen, for the kind of work I do, this is essential, the Apple AirTag. It's the #1 travel hack that anybody can tell you about. Whether you ride a motorcycle or just a regular traveler, this is amazing. With an iPhone and these in your luggage and your bags, you will always know where they are. It's incredible. Even if the airline loses your luggage, for example, you might be hard, even if with an AirTag, it's not going to help you get it back. But the one thing it will do is give you peace of mind. It will have a settling in your head because you'll know where it is. Apple AirTag, try it out. They're the best. Click the link in the description below and get yours. Okay, so the technology duffel. So here's a bit of information about the way I travel. Now I wear a BMW Rally 2 riding suit and a helmet, and I wear motorcycle boots, also made by BMW. They're very nice. I love these. I fully recommend them. When I get to a hotel room, the first thing I want to do after a long day of riding is get out of those boots because they're stiff and they're not good for walking and they're hot after riding. I have this system where I get out of those boots. After I unpack my clothing duffel, I get into my technology duffel, and what's right on top are those comfortable Mephisto sandals I've told you about. I slip them on, they breathe, I'm in heaven. They sit on top of the technology duffel, and here's why. Because when I leave a guest house, a hostel, or a hotel, the very last bag I put on my motorcycle is the technology bag. And the very last thing I do is put on my motorcycle boots because, as I said, they're stiff and they're not necessarily comfortable for just moving around. So while I'm packing up my motorcycle, while I'm doing all my, get ready to leave chores, I'm still in my sandals. And right before I leave, I throw all the last of the technology into the bag, and then I put in the sandals and then put on my boots and carry this to the bike with my helmet, and I'm off. Okay, so what's in my Ortlieb waterproof technology duffel? Again, same system of keeping everything dry, particularly with these technology components. Don't worry so much if your clothing can dry it, but this stuff can get damaged. So I'm going to start right at the far end of this thing, okay? Where I have an iPad mini and a case that allows me to mount it and look at it like this. I do carry the laptop. I do carry this because sometimes I may just go to a cafe. I want to do some basic work. I can edit videos on this. I can deal with email. I can do journaling and all the rest of that stuff on the iPad. Also tucked in right next to that iPad is another little Eagle Creek pouch. Now this is like a kind of like a neck pouch. I don't really wear it so much as a neck pouch if I have to have hands-free. But inside here is my passport. It's also got a backup key to the motorcycle, and it also has a backup credit card and some extra cash. And that gets stuffed into the back of this thing, kind of hidden behind that iPad. Next thing I have, again, I know you're gonna get annoyed by all the Eagle Creek stuff, but this stuff is all very good to compartmentalize and organize all of your gear, particularly as it relates to technology. This particular bag I carry a few hard drives, 2 SSDs. It has extra cables, extra SD cards, and more cables. Again, that's a little technology accessory bag that I have all that extra stuff in. The next thing, this is, I love this. In this bag right here is the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. It's a it's a small, beautiful drone, and it also comes with the controller, so I don't have to use my phone. Drone fits right in here. It's an excellent drone. The next thing I have This green Patagonia bag, I call my audio bag, okay? I got little audio accessories in here. I carry the DJI mic. You watch my other video, how I use this to make vlogs, but I also do this when I interview people or I'm doing a particular shoot for filming. I have the DJI mic here. Inside here is a Roland R05 digital recorder. So sometimes I may record audio using this and some other accessories in here. I also carry some ND filters for some of the action cams. That's the Patagonia audio bag. Next, okay, in this kind of olive green bag, this is actually my lighting bag. So what I have in here are some accessory lights. There's the clip-on light by GoPro, and I have some ND filters. I also have this little guy that is very light, you can see, and it gives me light. And this is at its lowest level right here. It changes colors, it flashes. If I want to have a disco, boom, I got this beautiful light. I have some ND filters here for my pocket cam and for the drone. I also have the GoPro clip light, and I carry an extra flashlight. And here is a selfie stick if I need that. So this is kind of my, mostly lighting, all fits in there, all pretty well organized. So lighting goes in there. In the orange bag, this is my action cam bag, little action cam accessories. And frankly, it's hardly anything in here, you can see. So that's pretty much all in this little orange bag. And I call it my action cam accessories bag. And speaking of action cam accessories, GoPro does have that ubiquitous mount that we're so familiar with, the screw and the thing. So I've got a number of spare mounts. I've got some mounting plates that I can attach to things. So in this bag is just a handful. If I get into a situation, I need to configure something to be able to mount my GoPro to capture some kind of shot. I've got that stuff in there. In here, I got my Beats. I forget which model they are. They do have the noise cancellation. They're fantastic. No, I'm not bringing this along to listen to music and rock around the streets of Athens or Sofia or Bucharest or wherever else. No, but sometimes when I take a break and I'm going to be doing editing videos, I may be in a cafe doing this. I may be in a lobby of a hotel. I may be out somewhere in a park. I want to be able to edit hearing the audio without any disturbance. So that's why I carried the Beats. Also in here, just because I couldn't really fit it comfortably in with my clothing, this is a raincoat, a rain jacket. So just in case I am in hiking somewhere, expecting rain, or if I get caught in a rainstorm, not for on the motorcycle, this is just for around town or hiking. It's a great jacket. It's made by Mountain Hardwear. Okay, and the last thing in here, which is the coolest thing, this charges everything. No need to carry extra USB chargers or USB banks. I do have a power bank, that'll come later. What I have here is this product by Zendur, and it's a multi-function universal power charger for everything. And let me show you how this works. So first of all, you can see there's 4 USB plugs for charging on the top right here. And then on the side is a high power, I think this is 60 watt, so you can actually power your laptop. It may not charge it depending on how much power you're draining off of this thing, but it will power it and keep it charged. If you take everything off, it'll also charge it. Now what's really cool about it is, depending on what country, I travel all over the world, and the power sockets for countries do change. So mostly in Europe, it's the 2 or 3 prong thing that looks like that. So you can see, I can slide this out, and I've got the typical European thing. If I slide this one out, you see I've got the Australia and other parts of the world, parts of Asia, use this really wacky kind of 3 prong, 2 horizontal, 1 vertical. Boom, that goes in. Then you have this one. This is US. But in some parts of the world, maybe that's Australia, I forget, but these things turn. So there is a plug that's more like a V. You can plug it in that way too. And then they give you this little bag. I keep all the cords on it. I have this great thing that DJI gave me with the drone. This is 2 USB-Cs to 1 USB-C. So I can record 2 devices only using 1 port. And all of that, and you can see I have a charger for my Apple Watch, I've got the charger for the iPhone, and then I've got USB-C for the drones and for the action cams. I do carry a Kindle, it's in with my laptop. I forgot to mention that. So, I'll put a link to this down in the description. This is awesome. That's the technology bag. And the only other thing I'm going to share with you on this video is once I get unpacked, I'm going to be in a city or I'm going to be in a little village for a while, I usually park the motorcycle and I'm on foot, or I'm taking local transport and I'm exploring the local area. And I do carry other equipment that's not in these duffels that I keep in my top box on the motorcycle. So when I do come into a hotel room after I've organized this, I will get my photography stuff together from the top box, and I'm going to show you how I do that next.
I always hate saying goodbye, but I've got to go through the ritual of packing up my bike. There goes my camera. And then I've got to secure this box of wine. People have been generously giving me bottles. Those Ortlieb duffels. And then I've got to suit up and get on the road and say, goodbye, Bulgaria, but that's okay. We're going to Romania.
The very last part of this, how does Alan Karl WorldRider pack and travel around the world on his motorcycle? So this is the fourth bag, I guess you could say. We had the technology duffel, the clothing duffel, and of course the laptop carrying case. Now, those things are all brought in immediately when I check into a guest house, a hostel, or a hotel. This bag that I've got in front of me is called the Ranger Sling, and this is my EDC, my everyday carry bag. And in this bag is my walking around technology stuff. So some of the components that you might have seen in the technology bag do end up in this as I am wandering a city or a village or out in the environment. And this is usually in the top case, the BMW top case on my motorcycle. So I don't carry this in initially, but when I'm ready to go out on the town, I go in. It's a lockable top case. I grab this, and what I have in here are the essential components to a, for creating beautiful productions, whether you're doing still photography. I do a lot of video. I do a lot of audio recording for podcasts and interviews. So let me kind of go quickly through what I do in my everyday carry, my Ranger Sling, and why this bag goes with me everywhere I go. This bag is made up of basically 4 storage compartments. You have a very thin compartment here in the back. This is designed, it's soft and fuzzy like faux fur, and it's usually designed for you to put your smartphone or maybe your tablet or whatever that. For me, sometimes, I don't put a lot of stuff in here, but because I do a lot of vlogging, sometimes with the iPhone, I have this cool little shorty tripod from GoPro, and I fitted it with a camera mount so I can go ahead and mount my iPhone there, and that sits there very compactly in that compartment there. The multi-function compartment. The main compartment's right here. I'm going to show you that in a second, but let's talk about these 2 compartments. It is a sling, and it's designed to wear on your back and sling it around to your front so you have access. So the access for these components, these pockets and these storage areas are at this end. This one here is a long one, and in here it's very simple. Once again, carry that air tag. The second thing in here is my Anker power bank. This can charge 2 USB devices like 5 times. It's really solid. I obviously have a USB-C cable, so if I'm out stuck and I need to charge up, I don't have to carry a charger with me. I've got my power bank. Of course, I always carry some business cards and some WorldRider stickers that do have the QR code, so you can go ahead and follow me on all the usual suspects. So that's what's in this compartment right here. Simply the power bank and the few extra cables, some stickers, some business cards. This one here also has that faux fur. So this is designed to maybe put your smartphone or whatever. Because I'm filming this video with my DJI Pocket, I don't have it in here, but usually the DJI Pocket that I'm using right there to record this video, but it fits into here when it's not being used and slides in there. And then next to that is the DJI action camera. This is the coolest little thing. It has a lot of functions. It's magnetic. I mean, this is like, if I want to film something. And by the way, terrible place to be doing a video, don't you agree? This is waterproof. This can go down to 10 meters or so. It also has that front-facing screen. So if you are, I could be doing this vlog using this. And I mentioned before, in my technology bag are the special magnetic mounts for this camera. But that sits in this, next to the DJI Pocket. It's very compact, so I have a lot of flexibility when I'm out. And the main compartment really holds my Canon 60 Mark II, my DSLR. I'm soon going to be changing to a mirrorless Canon, but for now, this is what I'm using. It's real easy to accessible when I'm carrying this on my back. I've got my 24 to 105 lens. It's really solid, and it sits in there, and bam, take your picture. Here we are out. Beautiful. Okay, what else is in here? So this sits in here like that, so real easy to access when I want to do it. This here is, as I mentioned, the portable light. I might be out late night. Sometimes I'm shooting food. Sometimes I'm shooting just some people, and I just need a little accent. You'd be surprised what a little guy like this and how light it is, how much light it can give you. And of course, I've got for my pocket that we're looking at right now some ND filters if I am shooting during the day and it's really bright sun. Okay, there's another compartment that zips up on the top of the lid, and I'll show you what we got in here. This is all very simple stuff. In here is the microphone for right now. I'm wearing it right now. This is for the pocket, that camera that is filming this video. Also in here, so I can use this instead of having the microphone from there, you get all this ambient noise. Right now the waves are crashing on the beach, kids are playing down there, but you're pretty much hearing me solely. There's also a little tripod, a really cute tripod, so if I do want to do some vlogging in a restaurant or something while I'm dining, I can put that down, I can set up my little light, turn on the microphone, and bam, we're cruising. I also have in this a spare battery for the Canon 660 Mark II, and I've got a couple pencils and pens, and that's pretty much it. So this is my everyday carry. This goes wherever I go and allows me to capture all the fun stuff. Okay, this is how WorldRider packs